Community involvement. Wow. Well, right now during since I'm recording this in September 2020, we're still in the COVID thing, and what's been first and foremost on my mind recently has been my Ask the Needs thing that I'm doing with 7 different local restaurateurs. My Ask the Needs Facebook group kind of started as a joke from one of the community pages that I manage for Aston. We have a lot of debate about who makes the best pizza or cheesesteak or that kind of fun stuff. So we kind of created a whole separate thing for that. But as you know, especially when the governor shut down real estate and said we weren't allowed to do any work, I couldn't leave the house for anything business related. And you would hear on the news, restaurants were in trouble. Well, being the foodie that I am, I reached out to my local restaurant friends and said, hey, I can't do anything for myself. How can I, do you have business? What can I do to help you promote yourself? Because, staying home and doing nothing is just not something I can mentally handle for very long. But it turned out, when my first call, my first pop in was to Jeff over at Mambroso's To Go here in Aston. And, Jeff said, I'm doing really better than I ever have. I'm just looking for a way to give back. And I had the same conversation pretty much with Bubba over at the Tattooed Pig, and some of my other restaurant friends said similar stuff. So we got started. There was about 4 local restaurants I was working with, and we were just looking to say, hey, if you need help, we're offering you 1 hot meal a week. Obviously, that doesn't cure somebody who's got a dramatic problem, but we've grown to know other resources, links from the feds, the state, the county, other groups in the area. But from that core group of 4 restaurants, we quickly gained 6, 8 families that we were helping out. At one point during this, we had 13 families. It was about 54 people we were giving a hot meal to a week for free. The restaurants were donating their services, and when this thing started, never in my wildest dreams would I be, I'm recording this on the 12th, and I never would have dreamed back in March that we would still be doing this. We're just wrapped up our 23rd week of that, running hot meals to folks in need. We're and it's all donations from the restaurants. I keep the database and deliver for all but one of the restaurants. Jeff at Mambroso's, his drivers take care of things for me, but I deliver because the other restaurants aren't really set up for delivery. And we've been able to do some great stuff and help some folks out, both directly through the restaurant donation and also getting them in touch with other resources. Work with the Delco School District, when they had a family in need. Jeff over at Mambroso's does work directly for 2 of the elementary schools here in Aston. But I've also been in touch with other folks at the district. And, families have thankfully, the best thing has been seeing folks who get back on their feet now that they're able to go back to work, or they found a new job. There's still a lot of folks out there who have difficulty, whether they have, with kids work, going to cyber school. It's just been crazy for everybody, and I'm glad to do just a little bit to help out there. I spent 10 years as my homeowners association president, that eventually you just have to walk away from because it gets a little time consuming and draining. But I was proud of what I did there. When my kids were little, I volunteered for a couple of years for the board at St. John's Preschool, and sadly these turned out to be the last 2 years for St. John's Preschool. The new priest at the church decided they wanted to go to more of a daycare, and we just didn't have the people for that. I've made some great friendships there. In fact, my daughter's now volunteering at an animal rescue in Chester County with one of her old preschool teachers. and it's it's amazing where you run into folks. Obviously, we talked about me being involved with Delaware County State Planning Council. Crozier Hospital had a senior health service thing going for a little while. Unfortunately didn't pan out, but it was a really great resource of folks that could come in and help Crozier's patients if they needed the extra, whether it was Meals on Wheels or it's somebody's got to move into a facility and they need to move their property. There's a lot good that happened with that program. I was sorry to see it close. My daughter, my oldest, was into soccer, and she loved Pee Wee soccer. And when it was time to go to U8, they needed coaches, and I volunteered to coach a team that year. Went and got my coaching certificate for that age group, thanks to the Aston Youth Soccer and the Southeastern Pennsylvania Soccer Association. I don't remember the name off the top of my head. It's been a little while. So I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot, and I'm still a soccer fan. But I definitely my team had fun, but we were not good. We were not good. But 5 of my 8 kids that were on the team are now at the high school level. They would, I guess, be playing this year, but for the shutdown. But that was fun, and I did learn a lot. I went into that not knowing really anything about soccer, but that was fun.